Hello friends, so welcome back to lesson number 2 and this is the third video of this lesson. We are discussing employment in this lesson and if you haven't watched the previous two videos of this lesson, please do watch it. You also subscribe to my channel for the updates. I will try to regularly post videos on this channel about the UPSC mains economy. And till now I have finished lesson number 1 in which there were 4 videos, and this is lesson number 2 which is, in which this is the third video and which will continue for another 2-3 videos more. So we were discussing about employment scenario in our country in the previous video. Let us continue there. In this video we are going to study about the key issues or challenges in the Indian employment. Okay, what are the different issues and challenges that Indian employment faces, that we will see. And there are many significant challenges. We'll see them one by one. The first one being unemployment and underemployment. Let us first understand the difference between these two. Unemployment basically means that a person is wanting or willing to work, but he is not able to find employment. Underemployment means that a person is working, but he is working in a job which does not suit his skills or his education. Okay, which is below his skills or education. For example, an MBA graduate is working as a maybe a data entry operator. Okay, or say an engineer is working as a mechanic in a factory. So it is underemployment. So naturally, if you are employed in a job which is below your education level or skills, you will get less salary or less pay that you should get. So that's why it is called as underemployment. So these are the two things that prevail in our economy, in our employment scenario. Despite economic growth in our country, so we see that there is a large economic growth in the last many years, almost 6 to 8%. These numbers we almost see in the newspaper in every quarter, every month we see this. Despite such economic growth, India struggles with high unemployment rates, particularly among the youth and educated individuals. And as per the latest data of CMIE, which is Center for Monitoring of Indian Economy, it is a private firm. They do a household survey, which is basically known as Consumer Pyramid Household Survey. About this in detail we'll see later again. It is a kind of monthly survey. So as per the June 2024 report, which is the latest I could find, unemployment rate in India is almost 9.2%. So it is very high. And in female, it is 18.5%. So female unemployment rate is almost 18.5% in our country, which is almost, you can see that a fifth of the entire female workforce are not finding employment. So it is very, very bad scenario. There are other measures also to look at unemployment, which is given by the National Statistics Office through their household surveys. Again, we'll see that how unemployment is measured. So it depends on how you look at the unemployment. According to them, our unemployment is around 4 to 5%. So since their parameters are different to see unemployment, and these parameters are different to see unemployment, there may be a difference in the unemployment rate. So this is what I could find as per the CMI data. Then underemployment, another thing, working in jobs that don't match their skills or education levels, that I have already told you. Next problem that we face is informal sector dominance. Again, we have seen this in the last video. Majority of Indian workforce is employed in informal sector which lacks job security, social benefits and fair wages. Okay. These workers are vulnerable to exploitation and lack legal protection also. So this is another characteristics and a major challenge to our employment scenario. Now the third one is skilled workforce mismatch. There is a mismatch between skills taught in our educational institutions and requirement of the job market. So what industries want and what we are skilling to our people, our students in our educational institution, there is a mismatch between that. We need to bridge that gap. And this gap contributes to unemployment among educated youth and leaves many jobs unfulfilled due to lack of adequately skilled candidates. Especially, I will tell you an example in IT sector, for example. So in IT sector, the skills that are taught, or the coding language, say, that is taught to our engineers, so these coding languages or whatever they learn in engineering colleges are outdated, so they are no longer used. The world has moved much ahead. Now what these students of IT, they have to do is they have to go and join some private coaching, private courses, and they can do some crash courses for 3 months, 6 months, and then they find a job in some company which after getting some skills which are modern day skills. So that is a very sad state of affairs actually. So our education is not teaching them the modern day skills. So we need to look into this. Next one is gender inequality. Women participation is low. So workforce participation is low as it is. It is about 39% compared to men. And also there is a wage inequality. Female workforce, they get low wages compared to men counterparts. Then there are unsafe working conditions also. We don't need to talk much about this. All of us know about the current news that is going on around with the unfortunate incident of a medical doctor in Calcutta. So unsafe working conditions are one of the reasons why most of the females, they don't want to go out and work, which is a sad thing for us. And so there is a kind of gender inequality when it comes to employment. There are also limited opportunities for career growth. There is a kind of glass ceiling for females still existing, which does not allow this female candidates to grow beyond a point. So that is also another challenge or problem. If 50% of our workforce which are female are not getting enough potential or opportunities to grow, then you can imagine that our economy gets a toll because of that. So various social and cultural barriers are there which limit women's employment prospects. So we need to look into this as well. It is a kind of social issue, but we have got to find a solution to this. Then agricultural employment. Agriculture is still a significant employer in our country. Significant portion of the population is still dependent on agriculture, which is seasonal and offers low productivity. So the productivity in agriculture is very, very low. Productivity meaning if a person is working say 8 hours a day in agriculture, maybe he is earning only 250 rupees. But if the same person is working say 8 hours a day in say IT sector, he may be earning say 5,000 rupees per day. So there is a difference between the productivities, the value that he or she is creating in the economy. If the same worker is working say 8 hours a day in some manufacturing industry, maybe he gets 1,000 rupees per day. So this is the difference in productivity. It is low in agriculture, and agricultural employment is also seasonal. So only during the sowing season or harvesting season they will find employment. Rest of the time they will remain unemployed. So that is a problem which again leads to rural distress. Agricultural sector needs modernization and diversification to provide stable employment opportunities. So we need to get into that people get stable employment opportunities in agriculture. There is a modernization. People can be drawn from agriculture to food processing industries, cottage industries, or other MSMEs. So that has to be done in order to reduce dependency on agriculture. Then the next one is contractualization and gig economy. Okay. This particular characteristic of contractualization or gig economy, they offer a flexibility, but it reduces job security, benefits, and long-term career prospects. So a lot of jobs are being contractualized, meaning the jobs are given on a contract basis, that you have to work, say you are employed, say for another 11 months, and your salary will be this. It is a fixed salary. There is no social benefits like pension or medical insurance or anything, and you will be fired anytime by giving just a 7-day notice. Okay, you can be removed from the job anytime without giving any reason. So contractualization has given flexibility to the employers, but it has reduced job security, benefits, and long-term career prospects. So it also doesn't give any long-term career prospects to our candidates, to our people, because it is a short-term kind of job. It may be renewed after say 11 months, 12 months, whatever is the period, but the chances are very low. It leaves workers vulnerable to market fluctuations. So market fluctuation is a market fluctuation meaning if there is any ups and downs in the economy, then this contractual laborers may either get hired or fired. If the market goes down, then these people will be fired. So there is no job security, and therefore market fluctuation will decide what will happen to these people. Okay. And gig economy is basically a concept whereby where people work as contractual or short-term project-based in project-based jobs. So you must have heard about freelancing also, right? So freelancing is another example of gig economy, whereby people, they obtain one project from say some company, they work on that project, and then maybe after that they are not connected to that company or that particular kind of job that is given to them. So gig economy basically, it offers flexibility to the people, but and they also have independence, but then there is no job security. Next one is low wages and inequality, another challenge. Many sectors in India, they pay low wages because of informal and rural economies. Economic inequality has grown because of this. Wealth is concentrated in urban areas and only in a specific industries. So rural-urban wealth gap is also widening. Next is automation and technology disruption. This is another challenge. Automation and artificial intelligence, it threatens traditional jobs, especially in manufacturing services. So there is going to be a structural unemployment because of this. Okay, structural unemployment, because people don't have the skills now to work into AI or very high-tech kind of processes. And that is the reason why people will lose jobs in short term. It threatens the traditional jobs. Workforce is often unprepared for this transition. So people are often unprepared, and it takes some time for people to learn the new skills, and they're also unwilling. So there is a kind of mental inertia also. So while these technologies, they offer new opportunities, the workforce is often not willing to take up, or they don't have sufficient infrastructure also to prepare themselves for it, to learn new skills. So that is another thing. Next one is regulatory rigidities. India's labor laws, while they are intended to protect the laborers, but they are very difficult to navigate for manufacturers, for industries, and this discourages them from hiring, particularly in formal sector, leading to preference for informal labor. So these again we have already seen. Job creation versus population growth. While India has a large labor force, job creation has not kept pace with the population growth. Okay, so population growth rate is high, but the jobs are not getting created at the same rate. So there has been a increase in unemployment also because of that. There is a massive gap between the number of people seeking employment and the available jobs. These are some of the important challenges or issues when it comes to manufacturing, when it comes to employment scenario in our country. To address these issues, what should be done? Again, it is obvious, but let us discuss them. We need to reform our education system so that we skill our people with modern technology, modern skills. We need to reform our labor laws also so that it is friendly to both companies as well as the laborers. Job creation strategies have to be adopted. How we can create more jobs, especially by giving a boost to labor intensive sectors. Gender inclusivity, it is essential because 50% of our labor force is female, and we need to ensure that they participate in the economy. They just don't remain at home and not participate in economic activity, along with fostering a more modern and inclusive approach to employment across sectors. So this needs to be taken care of. So I hope you have understood various issues with job creation, with employment scenario in our country. These are some of the strategies that can be adopted. In the next video, we'll discuss in detail about the strategies that India has actually adopted over a period of time, what different schemes and missions that the government has brought at the national level so that we can increase our employment. So we'll discuss that in the next video. Thank you.